My brother texted, "I'm not paying that loan. You handle it." I simply replied, "No." An hour later, Mom messaged, "If you won't help him, don't come for Easter." That night, I reversed every payment I'd made for them. By dawn, his car was gone, their heat shut off, and the family chat was in full panic. "Don't you dare walk out, Adam!" Mom's voice snapped like a whip across the dining room. The chandelier above rattled. Half-empty wine glasses trembled on the table. Dad's jaw was tight. "You think you can walk away after what you did to your brother?" I blinked slowly. "What I did?" Drew leaned back in his chair, smirking. "He's pretending again, acting innocent like always." I could see the bruise-colored shadows under his eyes, the kind that come from losing more money than you admit. "I'm not paying that loan," Drew said flatly. "You signed the papers. You deal with it." Mom folded her arms. "You can't just abandon him, Adam. We're family." My throat tightened. "Family? You mean the same people who used my credit to save his mess?" Dad slammed his hand on the table. "Watch your tone." The air went still. Even the clock on the wall hesitated before ticking again. And then Drew leaned forward, whispering, "He knew, didn't he?" Mom's eyes darted to me, wide, terrified. That's when I realized they weren't angry because I refused. They were angry because they'd been caught. "My name's Adam Rains, 26 years old, the quiet one, the responsible one. The family's invisible backbone. They used to laugh that I was too serious, that I took life too personally. But I was the one paying rent when Dad's business failed, sending money when Drew lost his wallet again, and covering hospital bills when Mom said she couldn't handle the stress. They said I was part of the family, just never equal. Tonight, though, something shifted. Maybe it was the way Dad looked right through me. Maybe it was Mom's guilt that looked too rehearsed. Or maybe it's because I finally realized I'm sitting at a table where love has always been conditional, and they don't know that I've been waiting for this night. The night I stopped being their quiet fool. The family table. Drew, 28, wild grin, empty wallet, full of excuses. Mom, mid-50s, soft voice that cuts deeper than shouting ever could. Dad, ex-military posture, eyes like stone. And me, Adam, their mistake that learned to survive quietly. Mom pushed a plate toward me. "You haven't touched your food." I stared at the steak. Cold, overcooked, just like every conversation here. Dad said, "You're acting ungrateful, son, after everything we've done for you." I looked up slowly. "You mean after everything I paid for you?" Mom's eyes glistened. "Don't start." Drew laughed under his breath. "There he goes again. The victim act." "Victim?" I leaned forward. "You wrecked my credit, stole my savings, and called it a family emergency." Mom gasped like I'd cursed at church. "Lower your voice," she hissed. "I've been lowering my voice for years," I said quietly. "You just liked me better when I stayed silent." Mom stood up suddenly. "You have no idea what we've sacrificed for you." I laughed bitterly. "Sacrificed? You used my college fund to bail out Drew's gambling debt." Dad's face reddened. "Watch it, boy." "You watch it," I said back, calm but steady. "You signed my name on that loan without asking. That's fraud." Mom froze. "Adam, you don't understand." "I understand perfectly," I said. "You wanted me to clean up your mess again." The truth hit the air like static. Drew tried to deflect. "You're overreacting. You always think everything's about you." I smiled slightly. "No, Drew. You just think everything's about you. Because Mom made sure it was." Mom's hand trembled. "Don't talk to me like that." "Then stop treating me like a bank account," I whispered. And for the first time in my life, no one had a comeback. Dad stood towering over me. "You'll regret this tone." "I already regret this family," I said, my voice soft. Too soft for the storm in my chest. Mom pointed at me, trembling. "We gave you everything. A home, a name. You gave Drew everything," I cut in. "You gave me the bill." Drew smirked. "You're pathetic, always playing martyr." I looked him dead in the eye. At least I pay my own debts. He stood up so fast his chair fell. Say that again. I leaned back. I would, but you can't afford to hear it. Dad slammed the table again, shouting my name, but I didn't flinch. Instead, I said quietly, I'm done being your backup plan. Mom's voice cracked. Adam, what are you doing? And that's when I smiled. Taking back what's mine. 3 years ago, I sold my car to pay Dad's hospital bills. Mom called me crying that night, saying Drew was in trouble. I wired every dollar I had left. 2 months later, I found out where it went. Drew's poker debt. He posted photos from Vegas with the caption, "Family comes through again." When I confronted Mom, she said, "He's not as strong as you. You can handle it." That sentence cracked something inside me. That was the night I realized being the strong one just meant being the one who gets used without fighting back. Back to now. Drew grabbed his phone. Why isn't my car payment going through? I set my glass down. Because I canceled it. Mom's eyes went wide. What did you do? I reversed everything, I said. Every loan, every fake transfer, every cent you moved under my name. Dad's voice thundered. That money was for this family. No, I said quietly. It was for your favorite child. Mom covered her mouth. Drew's face drained of color. You can't do this, he shouted. I already did. Then I looked straight at Dad. And the second mortgage you signed under my ID? The bank knows now. You'll get their call in the morning. The color in his face turned from red to white. He knew I wasn't bluffing. Mom screamed something about betrayal. Drew threw a glass against the wall. Dad sat back down, silent for once. I stood. The air smelled like spilled wine and regret. I gave you all my silence, I said. Tonight, I give you the truth. Mom's tears fell. You're cruel, Adam. No, I said, my voice steady. Just awake. Dad looked up, and for a brief second there was something in his eyes. Not anger, guilt, maybe shame, but Mom's voice cut through it. Don't you dare apologize to him. That was it. The final nail. I walked out without looking back. I left their keys on the counter, stepped into the cold air, the kind that stings but feels clean. By morning, Drew's car was repossessed. Their utilities, frozen, their group chat, exploding with panic. Mom texted, You've ruined us. I replied, I just stopped saving you. The quiet after was unreal. It wasn't peace, not yet. But it was something close. For years, my silence served them. Now it served me. It's been a month. No calls, no begging, just distance. The healthiest thing I've ever had. I found an apartment near the river. Small kitchen, leaky faucet, peaceful mornings. Sometimes I still check my phone, half expecting a new guilt message. But nothing comes. And I realize that's what healing sounds like. I don't hate them. I just finally understand. Family doesn't mean you owe them your peace. For the first time, I don't carry their weight anymore. If you were in Adam's place, would you forgive them or walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your story matters too. If you felt Adam's pain, hit like. Subscribe for more stories that remind us. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's survival. Because the quiet ones remember everything. And one day, they finally speak.